We now return to the story of a Lightning McQueen ornament who jumped off the tree in hopes of finding the other cars he's heard are in this house. Will he make it upstairs? Let's see. Whew. Finally, I'm up. All right, Lightning, let's do this. Time to find the other cars. And so he traveled and traveled and traveled some more. And when he reached the top of the stairs, please don't question how he went up them despite being a car, and entered the room, he was greeted by friends. Many, many friends. And also a bunch of junk, because this guy keeps his cars on a table and also just uses it as a normal table sometimes. Is that a Spider-Man comic, but Spider-Man is Miss Piggy? What is this? Is this guy just a hoarder? I'm starting to think he's just a hoarder. Anyway, yeah, I come from the Christmas tree downstairs. Wow, that's amazing. Oh, that's awesome, man. Why don't you stay up here for a while? Yeah, we've never spoken to an ornament before. And when the time came for him to come downstairs, oh, hey, there's my comic where Spider-Man is Miss Piggy. I've been looking all over for that. Is that my McQueen ornament? You know, I thought it went missing. It fell off my tree a few days ago. I haven't seen it since. I wonder how it got up here. Huh. Well, I mean, since it's up here, I may as well put it on the tree, right? Hello, everybody, and welcome to day 24 of 25 Days of Suggestions 2025. Today, I am super excited, not only because it's Christmas Eve, which is incredible, but also because today we're going to be taking a look at two of my favorite Cars diecasts of all time, Ferrari fan Luigi and Guido, suggested by Elijah Roman. These two have always held a special place in my heart. Guido in particular because of his absolutely incredible hat. Oh my gosh, it's the greatest thing ever, and I love it to death. Now, my month has been pretty full of a lot of Luigi and Guido. You know, I've spent many, many hours this month doing research and recording and editing content about Luigi and Guido. I finally got Luigi and Guido Diecast History Part 1 out, a video that's been stuck in development here with me working on it on and off since April. So I was so happy to finally just sit down and get it done once I was done with my finals a couple days back. And I also recorded the entirety of the next Diecast History, Luigi and Guido Part 2, and I have a bunch of the templates for that done, and hopefully it should be coming out relatively soon. And, you know, Ferrari fan Luigi and Guido are items with a very complicated history. In fact, I think the segment discussing Ferrari fan and Luigi and Guido in Diecast History is the longest single segment for any character in Diecast History so far. A lot of Luigi and Guido segments ran long because I'm talking about, you know, two characters at once. But Ferrari fan Luigi and Guido in particular have so much to talk about, especially because of all of the legal stuff, right? These two legally can't be re-released anymore because Ferrari fan Luigi and Guido include the Ferrari logo, and Mattel lost the rights to Ferrari back in 2014. They did strike a new deal with them in 2025, though, but for now it seems to only be for Hot Wheels, so you know, we'll have to see what happens. Additionally, they both have some interesting film inaccuracies. They have some wacky releases. Did you guys know when they first came out, they were in a 2-pack together? Yeah, not singles like we're used to. An entire 2-pack with just one Luigi and one Guido. What an absolute ripoff, right? I know prices were lower by a couple of bucks for Cars diecasts 19 years ago, oh my gosh, but still, yeah, there's a lot to talk about, so I'd highly recommend checking out my Diecast History video that I released a couple days back. The history of these two in particular is so incredibly fascinating. Let's start off by taking a look at Luigi. Now, my Luigi, if you watch Diecast History, you may have noticed that I didn't use footage of my own Luigi. Instead, NCAP Cars lent footage of his. That was because my Ferrari fan Luigi is actually missing the two flags he's supposed to have. As you can see, I've got his page pulled up on the World of Cars database. There you go. He has a little flag on this side and a much bigger flag on this side. Now, I know I still have both of these flags somewhere, but I gotta re-glue them someday. I thought I had them in a bin with my Cars accessories. I went to search for them before filming Diecast History. Could not find them, so I reached out to NCAP, and he was nice enough to provide footage for a completed Luigi. One of these days, I'm going to do a deeper search. I'm going to find those flags. I'm going to recomplete my Luigi, who's been broken for almost 2 decades. Now, in the movie, Luigi actually has 2 small flags and then 1 big flag. Here, they just gave him 1 small flag and then a big flag on the other side. You can see, though, mine still has his wonderful hat intact, full of a bunch of Italy souvenirs, Italian flags, and also several Ferrari logos, and also an American flag there as well. Luigi is proud of his heritage as an Italian who came to America. As a 2007 diecast, he just has the exact same facial expression as your typical Luigi. Again, we're supposed to have these flags sticking out of the sides. He looks kind of awkward and naked without it, so I am sorry, but you can see where the flag is supposed to be attached. Wow, check out my broken toy! On the back, of course, we got the typical Luigi license plate, 445-10.8. Of course, those are actually the coordinates to a very large Ferrari manufacturing plant. There's a look at the other side. Oh my gosh, is his window cracked? I don't think I've ever seen this before. Oh, actually, sorry, that's just a hole left in him from the other flag being gone. Yeah, okay. I was about to be like, wait, do I have a car with a broken window? Kind of, not really, technically. And there's a look at the base, complete with the Fiat 500 copyright. Now, moving on to Guido. Guido also has an inaccuracy. He, of course, has his absolutely beautiful hat, which, again, one of my favorite things to ever come in the diecast line. As I said in diecast history, this Guido was only one of 2 Cars products in the diecast line ever to include cloth goods pieces. Cloth goods is basically fancy toy collector talk for cloth pieces. I don't know where the goods comes from. I think it's kind of stupid, guys. We could just say cloth pieces, but, you know, I don't make the rules. I just follow them. And, yeah, the only other Cars diecast to include a cloth accessory is the 95 fan Luigi and Guido, the Cars 2 version of this item from 2014. And, yeah, I mean, it looks great. Although, in the movie, this little Ferrari thing attached to his hat, is actually not attached to his hat. It's attached to a little wireframe on the back of Guido. It's kind of like a little flag that trails behind him. Here, they just attached it to his hat. Now, early prototype early prototype images of this Guido have surfaced, and they actually have his hat molded in plastic, which is pretty interesting. Though I believe, from what I've heard, that was just a temporary thing. It was just supposed to be temporarily plastic in like the prototyping process. But still, pretty cool to see that they had a plastic version of this before the cloth goods version was done. But yeah, this is a great little hat. It's amazing, and it is fully removable. You can put it on whatever Guido you want, unless, of course, you find a Guido with a larger hat. I don't think this would work well with Christmas Guido, but, you know, I got several Luigi and Guidos laying around. Haven't fully cleaned up from diecast history, so let's give R2-D2 some Italian pride. That is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. Guys, come on. This is the greatest thing. Okay, joke over. Anyway, Guido has his 2 forks raised up, showcasing a little Ferrari shield emblems with the stallion, of course. I feel like if this were done in the Cars series nowadays, they would go out of their way to carify the Ferrari logo. But, you know, real-world logos are often not carified in the Cars universe. Brent Mustangburger has a regular horse on his logo, because a Mustang is a horse, and that's the logo. But yeah, Guido's face is actually a little different from his regular diecast. He's looking down a bit further, which is nice to see, again, especially for 2007. How is this Guido so chipped at the top? He's supposed to have a hat. Come on, man. Come on, Guido. Moving around. Yeah, you got all your typical Guido details. There is a look at the base, and this has been Ferrari fan Luigi and Guido. Thank you so much to Elijah Roman for the suggestion once again, and thank you to everyone who submitted suggestions this year. Tomorrow, of course, is Christmas Day, and on Christmas Day, I always do a special review where I handpick the final suggestion. So, no random name picker. Thank you to everyone. We had over 70 submissions this year, and it's been so fun to go through them every day. We got one left. My personal suggestion from, the ones that were made. And I'm very excited to share with you what I picked for day 25. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye now.